welcome to NoChaNoMa, Simon's living room. We're not outside. We're not in the forthcoming rain. I did announce last week that that I would probably go to the Japanese garden, and then I checked the weather, and it said thunderstorms. So, who's there? Is there anybody there watching me doing this? Yeah, I mean, if you're there, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. Right, I'm just telling my friend in Tokyo that this weekend would have been an exception if I'd if I'd actually gone to the garden. Who's there? Super Blaster. My mic is very buzzy. Oh dear. Hang on. I've got to plug it out and plug it in again. If I can remember which wire it is. It helps if I press the unmute button. Sorry, thanks, Hedge. Yes, I unplugged it and plugged it back in again. So I was going to go to the Japanese garden, everybody. You've probably heard this word before, but it's going to be thunderstorms, and not a good idea to go around in the Japanese garden with a gimbal and your phone in pouring rain. So what I've done is I've queued up some footage from the last time that I went there. For the Tanabata festival. That's better, jolly good. Right, I'm not on the wine, so I may not be sort of flowing smoothly. I'm on the green tea. All right, where are we? What I'll do, I shall, because I'm currently in my living room, and you're all familiar with that. So I'm just going to go here and go onto my playlist here and set this going. Is it going? Yes, there we are. We're in Ginza on a rainy Thursday night last week. Because actually the weather is more or less the same as in Japan at the moment. My friend's just saying it's very humid there. It's very humid here today. I checked, 87% humidity in Belgium, in this part of Belgium at the moment. Well, it's normal if you've got thunderstorms on the way, and similarly in Japan, at least in Tokyo. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Not as warm. Right. So I said I would be rambling, and I am rambling. How is it with you, Hedge, down there in good old jolly? It's probably the same, actually. You know, you're not that far from me, relatively speaking. I'm probably covered with the same cloud layer. Yes, so it's the Tanabata Festival, and I actually celebrated that a few years now. I've hung up my tanzakus, which is a little piece of coloured paper with your wish on it, and I will be doing that again. So I'm trying to do that. Mm. Right, rather wet down here. Oh, I appear to be having some kind of technical difficulties here. My Oh, this is not going very well at the moment. This could be a very short live stream. Right. Yes. Alas! Hello. Sorry, I was having a bit of a technical problem there. Nice to see you. Alas. Also, I think in southwest England, if I'm correct, and Super Blaster 2 is in southeast of England. It can't make its mind up in the UK today. Ah. Well, here it's predicted to be thunderstorms. You're well remembered. It's predicted to be thunderstorms, and it's certainly humid enough in this room, but nothing is happening yet. And I sincerely hope there will be thunderstorms later. Otherwise, I will have stayed inside for no reason other than to entertain you. Right. Well, I'm sorry. What I should do really is show you the not rainy Japan, but if I move here, I can. Oh, I need to adjust my my green screen. It's not going very well, is it really today? There we are. That's better. Right. I shall set this going, and you can see the Japanese garden. All right. Go there. Go to playlist. Move up. Playlist and play. Okay, this was last year. You can just moving now. Yes. Not enough wine. No, just the green tea. So these are the Tanzaku, which are the little wish cards. They're in Japanese garden. They do them either on paper or you can have little wooden ones like that. And then later on that evening, the wishes are all taken down and burnt. Green tea with a dash of vodka. I don't possess any vodka. And later on, I've got to go out to a colleague's 60th birthday, surprise 60th birthday drink. He doesn't know that all his colleagues are going to be turning up at his daughter's house. So that's this evening. So I may have a drink there. I've got to be careful because I'm driving. So, but anyway, here we are in the Japanese garden. This is what it would have looked like if it had been nice weather. And tomorrow, the little bridge over the pond full of koi. Ah. There they all are, getting fed by the visitors. It's a very nice garden. I can highly recommend going there if you ever do come to Belgium. Doesn't appear to be very many people in today. You could be just on your own. A super blaster appears to have dropped off. Are you still there, Hedge? Or is it just me and you, alas? Alas, it's just me and you. So I don't know whether you can. No, there's probably no audio with this. Can I share the audio? Is there audio? Can you hear there's no audio with this, but that was some people playing Koto, and then they have this building that's in the background here. This is what it looks like inside. And before the pandemic, obviously, during the activities, you could all sort of go in and do kinds of things like calligraphy and ikebana. And throughout the year, they have this kind of thing going on. But especially on special events like Hanami and Tanabata, this all occurs. There's a little tea room. This was all designed and built in the 90s, and there was a sort of sister city that provided the actual genuine Japanese gardeners and garden architects who came over and did all this. And now it's kind of matured and looks rather good. Yes, it is. It is, and it's about an hour's drive from here. So I would have gone tomorrow, but alas, the weather got in the way. Yeah, so you would just hear the noise of the waterfall, really. That's all you would hear. And me waffling on. I'd be talking over myself because this was a live stream, so I was wondering about talking. I had to take my eldest son with me, or he kindly came with me at that time. And I think that's the end of the there we go. If I go back here, that was the end of. Yes, I was streaming, not using this StreamYard. I was using an app on my phone, and so it streamed directly. There was no scheduling. I just had to tell people, yes, I'm going to be doing it at this time, and hope that they would turn up. And my son was there watching the comments on his phone because there was no way to do it. It was rather cumbersome, but it did work. So, I mean, I really didn't plan anything, actually. I was just hoping to interact with you people. But it appears to be just you and me, alas. We could possibly interact. Ask me anything, alas. Oh, not that much, Des. Hello. What's up? I'm floundering. What? Not that much. I had planned originally to go to the Japanese garden and do a sort of live stream with my gimbal, but the weather was against me, so I'm here struggling and relying on you to interact with me. Still connected. Still connected. Yes. Let's go back to rainy Ginza. There we are. How did I end up in Belgium? Well, I met a Belgian lady while I was living in the Lake District in England, and she became my girlfriend. And she actually came to live with me in England for a couple of years, but where I was living was fairly remote, and she was on a break from work. You could get sort of paid break from work in Belgium, which is rather good. But after 2 years of being on a paid break from work and not finding any substantial work where we were living, she decided to go back to Belgium, and I didn't want to lose her, so I went back with her and gave up my job in the Lake District, and I've been living here ever since. The YouTube didn't ring the bell. Yes, it's all a bit weird. What's happening there. Yes, and I once I got to Belgium, we ended up getting married and starting a family. But we're separated now. But my sons, who have been on the show and several times, they're the reason really I stay here in Belgium. That being said, it's all right here. I mean, the UK is okay, as it were. But I've lived here now for over a quarter of a century. So whether I'd be okay moving back to the UK, I don't know. Yes, I did try and get some guests on. Jaded in Japan have been promised as return guests, but that's looking more and more like August. I was in touch with Sunny and Sydney, and August is much better for them for their schedule. So fingers crossed we can get them back. And I got a friend and like a composer. He's been on before, Joshu, and hopefully he'll be coming back on at some point. And I have to get in touch with Starlet Shay because she said she might get on the show again. So there will be guests hopefully in the future, but for now it's just me rambling as usual. All going silent. Like that. Like the audience has gone silent. Say something, audience. Interact. I can't give you sort of little bells and stars and stuff. Tomoko, hey! Kibi, yes. I remember. Yes, you sat there eating. Yes. Thank you for coming to my live stream. I'm not eating. So, alas, not that much. Hedge, if you're there, this is Tom. You will probably all know Tomoko. Yes. I haven't seen her in real life for must be about 4 years now, isn't it? Last time I was in Japan. You're heading home. Oh, okay. Can't stay long. Well, thanks for popping in. Thanks. Yes, one day I shall get back to Japan. And my friend Ingrid, Ingrid Houtkoper, who's been on the show a couple of times, and we've done a regular show. And we did a live stream from a Japanese garden in Holland one time. She and I are now arranging to go to a place called Amstelveen, which is in like far north of Holland, and apparently has the largest Japanese community in Holland. So, and she's a Japanese expert. So that's planned for the end of this month. So there you are. Don't count your chickens, though. I mean, knowing me, whether it'll get off the ground, hopefully it will. You remember me watching Japanese content YouTube when you started working with Japan. I found 3OD. That was a little strange experience. Yes. To encounter that 3 Old Dudes channel coming up in your feed when you're looking for stuff on Japan. A strange experience indeed. It is strange for me as well, and I was the founder of it. Yes, it was it had its moments. Like when Dean was on here the other week, the former host, co-host. Well, we had reminisced about the good times, and when it was good, it was very, very good, and when it was bad, it was very bad. I probably not, alas. I'm not a football fan. Yes, thumbs up. Yes, it's 5 years of doing that, and I just checked. I've done 3 years of this so far, if not more. I don't know. And the audience has listened and endured. Johnny. How do I feel about the Olympics? I'm ambivalent. On the one hand, it's it's healthy, sporty activity, community, blah blah blah. But on the other hand, they drain the countries of finances and time and infrastructure. They really put a big strain on that country. So. The current Olympics, it's going to be rather interesting. No audience other than via media, and my friend who was I was messing with earlier. She's volunteering, and she's like taking around sort of various people to do with the Olympics and showing them around and stuff. But she's not so She's doing it because she thought, the Olympics were going to happen properly with, perhaps she could sort of help the athletes or something. But she's doing it with the officials, and the officials are part of the organization that drains the country. So it's Sandra no Sekai. Yes. Sorry, not that much. Was referring to an old show of 3 Old Dudes where we had. She's no longer a YouTuber. I've lost touch with her. I used to be in touch with her, but yes, she was fun. Hey, Perk, how was it in Spain? Wait for answer. Nice to see you. I think I'm not quite sure where we are. Nakameguro. This is Nakameguro. Is she still on Instagram? I think I haven't seen her for ages anywhere. Same old, same old. Well, yes, it's a bit like this show, really. To all those of you watching after the event, sorry, it's a bit of the same. I just noticed I've been losing subscribers on my not on this channel. Well, I think I lost a couple on this channel. I did have 100, I'm down to 97. I think possibly some people who were expecting more Japan content and more regular Japan content decided that they weren't getting what they were subscribing for, which is perfectly okay. if you don't want to, if you don't want to subscribe, and you're not entirely, happy with just me rabbiting on, that's I understand. Ah, yes, it's changed her name. Yes, that's probably why I So she's still going. All right. Yes, back in the day, we had cool people on there. Well, sometimes I still get cool people on the show today, but it's getting harder to not to find cool people, but for me to get in contact with cool people. So, as I was saying, alas, I've got this at the end of the month. I've got the trip to Amstelveen with Ingrid, and then I'm hoping in August to get Jaded in Japan back on again, and a friend of mine who was on the show once a couple of years ago, Josu Zipperin. He's a composer, and he was in Princeton University, but he's back in Tokyo. So hopefully he'll be joining. He said he was quite busy, but sort of middle of the year, so that could be August. And who else have I got? As I was saying, Starlet Shay, who's known mostly on Instagram. She does occasionally appear on YouTube. She used to be a bit more prevalent on YouTube. So, but she said that she would possibly be a guest again. She's been a guest on, I think the last 3 Old Dudes was or one of the last ones. She was a guest on there. I'm just like fascinated here by the background. There's no rain. So this could be one of those streams that doesn't go all the way to the end. It's a very promising program, yes. If I can make it happen. Where is that? It's Nakameguro in Tokyo. Somebody was walking around there earlier this week and videoed it. I tend to do that, to take people's walk videos and have them going in the background, just for a bit of liveliness. Not a lot of exciting. I mean, I'd have to go into one of the major cities here and spend all day walking around filming to have that going on in the background. But it's not quite as exciting for me or interesting for me to possibly for my audience. It might be. There we go. It says Nakameguro. There we are. Apparently, it's a very trendy, popular place for young people in district of Tokyo. Yes, when you so the top 3. Thanks, alas, for keeping me going. The top 3 places you would like to go in the world: 1, Tokyo; 2, possibly Norway. Because it's it's somewhere it's Scandinavia, and Denmark is a bit, and Sweden are a bit flat. Where else? I did at one point think of going to China, but I've been turned off from going to China. Watching lots of videos about it and the society and everything. Norway in the woods, Norway in the fjords, not so much in the woods. I mean, it's sort of very, European, northern. Where have you been in Japan? I've never been to Osaka. I've been to Osaka Shinkansen station, sat on the train as it waited in the station, and then departed from Osaka Shinkansen station, Shin Osaka, but never actually got out and got into Osaka. I was on the way somewhere else. No, not done Osaka. In the fields. So yes, those are the three places that I'd like to. Did I say the third place? Yes. You want to go to one of those islands in the middle of nowhere, with the means of getting back, one presumes. I mean, I'm not quite sure I'd want to do that. I have sufficient isolation as it is, where I'm living, just for a week or so. I'm actually going to go on. Well, it's my summer break is coming up in a couple of weeks, or in a week or so. Yes, and then my work closes for 2 weeks, so I'm forced to take a holiday. And last year I went to the Ardennes. I actually did a live stream from there. And this year I'm going again to the Ardennes. There's not a lot of other places to go in Belgium. I'm not a sea person, so going to the coast is out of the question. The old bang joke. So I shall be going to... Sorry, I was confused by the comments there. So I'll be going to the Ardennes, and hopefully I might either do a live stream or a video. Might not do a live stream because it kind of like interrupts. Sort of, I'm going with my sons, and I remember last time when I did a live stream, it spoiled the walk a little bit with my sons. You know, they would have just enjoyed going on the walk, but there was me with the gimbal wandering around, talking to everybody at the same time. Islands with people's names, yes. Hey, Englandese, hi. Englandese, who's the Burger King of Yamaguchi. Or the burger aficionado, I should say, not the Burger King. No, the restrictions, well, we had restrictions, but now things are changing, and Belgium is on the verge of becoming a green zone again. I think people were allowed to travel. They still have to have a little certificate to prove that they're either free of COVID or have had their fully vaccinated. But the airport was quite busy the other day, apparently. Yes, if you said to me Diego Garcia, I would immediately think of a person and not a place. What's it like in England, alas? I mean, are you allowed to? I mean, my parents will be coming in September from there, so I presume it's all sort of okay. They're fully vaccinated. So yes, I'm possibly hoping it's only one day that I'm going to the Ardennes with my sons, because my youngest son can't get much time off, so we're just having a weekend in the Ardennes, and then I've got the remaining 2 weeks nearly to do something. So hopefully, if there are no serious travel restrictions between here and Holland, I may go and visit my friends in Maastricht again. The Japanese painter Tomo, and Peppo, perhaps, again. You've given up on understanding the rules. You can, you can't. Go on holiday, but don't go on holiday. Yes, that sort of thing. Hang on, what? You've deleted your videos. Hang on. Oh, right. and you'll be changing the channel. Oh, I see. I shall have to go and have an investigate. So there's nothing there at the moment. Oh, that's a shame. Starting fresh with a new type of video that nobody is doing, that least of you know of. Oh, now I'm intrigued. Everybody go to Inglenese's channel and see what he's up to. My Boris, yeah, oh God. No. Same name, different content. Yes, well, the Delta variant. Nothing there yet. So it's an empty channel. Oh. So, yes, it was a... So have you got anything in the pipeline? Can we expect something in the next week? I'll give you time. All right, okay. So you're sort of like ramping up the YouTube. Ah, right. I'm going to check. This is making me dizzy. I don't know about you. I have to go back here. Oh. The pressure is on. Yes. I've occasionally made videos. You may have noticed. Go and look at them, please, if you haven't already. Probably everybody that subscribes to me on this channel has looked at my videos on that I made, the walking videos. Very soporific, very kind of samey. But when I go out on my days off and I make a video of a walk that I've done, I kind of always kind of make the same kind of walk video. So perhaps that's why they don't get too many views. But I mean, I enjoy making them. So they're not on this channel; they're on my old channel. So you can't really tell us it's a mystery what Inglenese is going to be doing. Something that's not been done before. I've gone quiet again, haven't I? I'm sorry. The blab has gone. Interesting. What's me just being silent? Oh dear. This is going to be one of those streams, isn't it? Oh dear. I'm completely not with it. Oh right, no, not me. No, I'm not interested. What piqued my interest in Japan in the first place? That's a good question. I had no particular interest in Japan until about the age of 45. I was not a sort of like a teenager besotted with Japan or a 20-something, who discovered J-pop or whatever. No, I was 45 and listening to rockabilly music once a week, very specifically on a Sunday when I put my children to bed. There was a channel on Belgian radio, a blues program, and just at the time that I put my children to bed, they had a section on that radio show where they played rockabilly music just for like 15, 20 minutes, like 4 or 5 songs, original stuff from the 50s. And I listened to that as my children got ready for bed and took them into bed, and became a kind of a... So then I when I sort of separated and lived alone, I would look up rockabilly music on the computer. And one day, a song came on that was recommended and it was called Woohoo by the 5678s. And if you know who they are, it's an all-women Japanese rockabilly punk band who started in the sort of the late 80s. So I was like, listened to the song, and it was very catchy, and saw the video within a minute, and thought, blimey, this is unusual, and wanted to hear more, and did, and looked up all their videos and so on. And by doing that, by the fact that they were Japanese, that fascinated me. That Japanese women would do like rockabilly punk. Anybody could, I suppose, yes. But I mean, didn't strike me as particularly Japanese, and it appeared to be sort of odd and unusual and intriguing. And I then sort of wanted to know more. And YouTube then decided that me looking up Japanese, something remotely Japanese, meant that it would give me more things. And I thought, well, okay, well, what is this about Japan? I watched sort of an interview with the lead singer of this band that was done in the 90s. It was just a short video, and they just looked utterly cool. They were there and they were at home at their mum's house being interviewed. It was all like tatami floors and very tiny, and their bedrooms were sort of stuffed with like rock and roll memorabilia, and it just seems incongruous and interesting. Desert Island Discs Japanese style is needed 1 week, please. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, I shall have to try and think of something for that. Yeah, I'll get a guest. You're on a desert island. Tell us your favorite books and records. Yes, and actually, the by searching for this 5678s on YouTube, I wanted to find out if they were still going, and they were. And there was a Mexican guy who was living in Tokyo, and he'd been to their most recent concert and videoed it and interviewed them backstage as well. So he put that video up, and I was like amazed and subscribed to his channel. And actually, sort of, he then just did other videos, just walking around Tokyo with his phone, just because he'd only just recently moved there to be with his Japanese wife. And I subscribed to him. And I think, yes, that was, but by doing that, that's when YouTube recommended other channels. And I saw what Tokyo looked like. And I thought, oh, that's cool. I wonder what the rest of Japan looks like. And that's when I went down the rabbit hole. And I actually met him when I went to Japan for the first time. We went to Shinjuku, to the Golden Guy, and to Rock Bar Mother. And I met his wife. And then the second time I met him again and hung out in Koenji with him. No, that's right. I went to, yes, well, he said we would meet up in Koenji. There was the keyboard player from his band in Japan was doing a gig in a salsa club in Koenji. So I met up with him and his keyboard player friend, and my friend who was texting me just before. I met her there. She just like turned up. She'd heard about it and had turned up. Didn't know my YouTube friend particularly, and I just bumped into her, and she and I have become closest friends since then. So so one thing led to another, really. And of course, once you've been there and met all these YouTubers, I met like Gimme a Break Man and Tomoko and a couple of others, Frame of Travel, and all these people who had like followed on YouTube. It was actually due to Three Old Dudes that I got to know these people, and they appeared on the show. And then when I said I was coming to Japan, they said, "Oh, you must come and meet us." And I did, and that kind of like and the fun that I had in the first time there made me want to go back. And if Chuck and her mum are watching, I met Chuck there as well. Although Chuck met me through Three Old Dudes, I think. Commander Hatfield's channel, Canadian astronaut. How on earth did that, connect to Japan? You were in Osaka most of the time. Yeah, the only YouTuber in Osaka I could think of was Unrested Scott, who was on the show a few times, and then the old show, the Three Old Dudes show. And yes, because he lived in Osaka, and I never went to Osaka. I never met up with him. So. But yes, that scene has kind of died down a bit, or shifted. So I'm not really in touch with the what's going on in terms of new Japanese YouTubers, and the Unrested and the little guy. Chilin Kansai? I don't know. Is he? Oh, right. I see. That's why. It wasn't specifically that that he had a Japan connection. It was his son took over the channel. This is the Commander Hatfield, and that sort of piqued your interest. I have to ask, Alas, are you particularly interested in Japan? I mean, is that why you watch UFO Bob, or do you watch UFO Bob for his cooking videos and truck videos and stuff, or is there a Japan connection there for you? Waits now. Nerdy space humor to Japan interest. It's as a bizarre connection as rockabilly punk to Japan, I suppose. Yes. Are you still there, Alas? I noticed there are only 4 people watching now. You could still be one of them. I'm not sure. I've gone quiet. I'm sorry. I'm looking at comments, waiting to see if anybody has heard me or responding. Oh, you found it only in Japan years ago. Ah, right. Yes, only in Japan. That's right. Yes. It's not just UFO Bob. Yes, that's you watch John Daub's. That's a potential. John Daub has had 2 requests from me, and has said to Nosh that Nosh abroad that yes, if Simon wants to have me on the show, I'll be happy to. Yeah, but I'm not holding out much hope. That's as far as it went so far. Yes, I mean, I never intended to go to Japan. Even though I sort of was interested in it in the beginning, but the other guys on my show, were all up for it. Or they never did actually go in the end. And it was the connection with the actress from Shogun that sort of like was the tipping point for me when she said, if you come to Japan, I'll take you to dinner. So, that kind of like, maybe like, because the thought before that, the thought of getting on a plane and going to Japan and having to book all the hotels and do all the organization and everything just was too nerve-wracking. The motivation, was large though to get over that, and it turned out to be relatively straightforward to do all that. Sat behind my computer. It's still sometimes a bit of a causes a little bit of an anxiety, because every trip that I did was meticulously planned in terms of meeting people, and I had a vague idea of where I wanted to go and what to see if I wasn't meeting people. So there were some days where I was a bit of at a loss what to do. Oh, right. That's also an interesting connection. Yeah, your little boy was interested in toilets, so you found him a YouTube video. It happened to be one about Japanese toilets. Okay, that's yes, yeah. You should come on as a guest. Desert Island Discs with the lass. Yes, it's quite convenient if you have enough in the bank. Yes. You can do it cheaply, but you have to sort of like, certainly at my age, like try and get into a sort of a 20-something mindset, backpacker mindset. Whether you want to or not, I don't know. The night bus to Osaka from Tokyo, for example, never crossed my mind to do that. I just got the rail pass and hopped on the Shinkansen. Yeah, so my next visit will probably be 2022 at this rate. My friend Ingrid said she's already got her tickets, and she's hoping that by October they might be letting people back in tourists, but I don't know. As I haven't even started considering booking yet. I suppose I should do towards the end of the year, start making plans. But it's as I said, it's coordinating with friends over there. I really want to see some certain people, and I need to make sure that I can, and that they're available to see when I go. Talking toilets in the comments here. Simon no toire. Oh dear. No. So yes, I mean the title of this show was "What You See Is What You Get." I can't remember what the I Google translated it to get the Japanese version. Whether the Japanese actually say that, I think they just use the acronym, the computer acronym. What you see is what you get. So basically, yes. It was last night. I was thinking, what can I call the show? And it's basically when I do the show from in here and I haven't got a guest. What you see is what you get. who designed the living room. This is the Fukui Prefectural Museum of Cultural History's Showa exhibition, and they have a 1960s Fukui farmhouse recreated living room, showing the transition from sort of pre-Showa style to Showa period style, with all these like late to 50s and early 60s furniture and so on. So they designed it, really. I think it possibly was even, perhaps even taken wholesale from a Fukui farmhouse somewhere, and they have that displayed, and the kitchen next door. My friend Charlie no Sakatsu, who lives in Fukui, he went there earlier in the year before he joined me on the show, and said it was a fun place. Aussie awesome, eh? Pardon? Aussie? Does Aussie live in Osaka? I can't remember whether he lives in Osaka. I think he lived in Chiba for a while. But yeah, I met Aussie. He must have lived. He lived in because I met him in Nagano. No, Ikebukuro. That's right, Ikebukuro, and we went from there to Shibuya. Yeah, met him a couple of times. Yeah, nice chap. Yeah. Actually, I follow his former girlfriend on Instagram, who's now moved to Canada with her new boyfriend, and occasionally sort of message her and get a message back. She likes my posts and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I can't remember whether he did live in Osaka, but Aussie 78. He used to be called, but yeah, now it's Aussie Awesome. It's not so active anymore on YouTube. Yeah, the old TV in the background there. Well, we're fast approaching the end of the show. Sorry for the fuzzy start and the rather sort of confused start, and the lack of the actual promised Tanabata Japanese garden. But weather has forced me out of that, and lack of guests has forced me into this. And I just hope, kudos to those of you who watch the replay and get all the way through, and perfectly understand if you drop out within the first few minutes. Oh, yes, I saw currently Hannah's Kyoto video. Yes, very empty. I had to get up very early in the morning in Kyoto for it to be even remotely like that. But yes, so next week on the Simon NoChaNoMa channel, what are we next week? 13th, something like that. Let's have a look. We're the 10th. The 10th. Not quite sure what's happening there. I shall endeavour to get something organised. Possibly might do that Desert Island Discs thing. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you're ever tempted to be on screen, alas, you're perfectly welcome to pop in, and we can do the Desert Island Discs thing. Message me in Discord to say yes or no. Okay, well, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening to my ramblings, and I hope I didn't bore you silly, and I hope that those watching the replay get something out of it anyway. But for now, thank you for watching, and see you all again, hopefully, next week. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.